Good morning.
Look who's been cutting the grass on the field here. A cool, was it Robert?
I've been admiring this massive overlanding truck. We always look at all the other vehicles on site, but I reckon this one must be too big. I mean, he's got everything on there, from push bikes to canoes and kayaks. There are tents outside, bench tables, the whole works. But that thing must be a nuisance getting in and out of campsites. It's huge.
There was about 4 or 5 of them, and they still slept in the tents. So sounds like there isn't enough space for 4 or 5 people inside that cabin anyway.
Well, we have had an excellent few days. We've stayed here on this campsite that we found here in Estonia, and this is now our 3rd morning here, so it's about time we actually packed up and left.
Yeah, so it was a good time to catch up on editing and rest a little bit. It was fairly sunny, so it was quite good. And today is really hot.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had a rest, and I'm feeling much better now, and I am eager to get back on my bike and see what else Estonia has, because so far it's been pretty good.
Well, we've done some research about Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, and it looks like apart from big cities, there isn't any dramatic landscapes and things like that, unless you are into off-roading, and there is a lot of TED tracks, which we should be avoiding on the tyres we currently have.
We were umming and ahhing about that. We really want to do some more TED, but our tyres are finished.
Yes.
So yeah, we have a plan for that later on. But yeah, some of the TED is gravel and tracks, but also there's a lot of warnings for boggy, muddy sections. They have something here called the 5th season, where apparently in autumn there are areas of forest that completely flood and you can actually canoe through them. Yeah, which sounds fantastic, but I'm not sure I'm up for that on the bike.
If you've got a canoe, yeah.
Yeah, I think Teneres make crap canoes, and with our skills it's probably not advisable.
Well, we've got about 5-hour route planned. How much of it we will do, I'm not sure. It's touching the coastline, so it should be fairly scenic, I would think. And yeah,
let's go find out. Look at my handiwork. These chains look brand new again. When I stopped at Yamaha for Eva's brake pads, I got some kit to sort them out. They really needed doing. Rest of the bike though is hanging. As a fella over there packing up his as well, he's got an old Africa twin. Looks in good nick as well. I'm surprised actually how many older bikes we've seen on this trip that look really new and in excellent nick. I think that's because especially in Scandinavian countries and you know, heading towards Eastern Europe, they have bad winters, which means that they're probably only riding 4 or 5 months of the year.
To be fair, I have looked up some old Transalps and Africa twins in Poland to buy, and they were in really low mileage and excellent price. I also think it's a bit of a trend, you know, like it's retro, it looks cool, they're still not crazy expensive, but then I don't know, how many times will that break down, you know? And also they look really heavy.
I don't think they are heavy. I saw an interesting post the other day. This was on Facebook, so I don't know how true it is, but it was comparing the old Tenere, like what Itchy Boots is riding right now, to the new one, and although it's only, I don't know, 50 horsepower or something like that, it was considerably lighter. Look at the size of that truck compared to one of these proper motorhomes, and that's no small motorhome. That must be a royal nuisance taking places. It looks cool, but unless you really need it. Right, well, sun is shining upon us once again. We are pretty lucky like that at the moment. I have all my vents open. Been 3 days since I've been for a ride. I am keen as mustard.
You really do need those rest days sometimes, and you know, we were debating whether to stay an extra day, but then we thought let's just do it. But after a rest like this, you really start to miss your bike.
Oh look,
stalks, loads of stalks.
Yeah, they're too far away, but there are lots of stalks in the field.
It's because the bloke is cutting the grass, so they walk behind the tractor and they find the food.
Those storks are incredible animals. You often see them in Poland, and on top of the poles you can see their nests. And they migrate, we think, all the way to Africa, and then they'll fly back to the same village, to the same hole. That's incredible, year on year. We're out in the sticks a little bit now, and what's really noticeable is all of the new properties and you know, new style looking buildings here. Clearly there's been a lot of development here in Estonia over the last few years. We've just stopped in the road here, protected by this roadblock thing. Eva got stung on the face. Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, well we need to move on from where we are. When will you learn? Visor shut.
No, it wasn't the visor. Something hit me here, and then I was wondering, I wonder where it went, up or out. And then I was very conscious of it, so I was trying not to speak.
Alright, well we need to get away from it where we are. We just stopped here because this road is so long and straight, there's nowhere to pull in, and Eva's panicking.
Well, I wasn't panicking too much. What I was worried about is the bee getting into my mouth or something like that, so...
Sod's law, just around the corner there's a petrol station where we can have a little break and Eva can assess the damage. Bloody hell, it's them waspies.
Lucky for me, I only got a little bit of this, the toxins, venom, sting from the bee. It was stuck in my fluffy mic, and I think I just got whatever, like just a little bit, and I knew when I was riding, I had a feeling that it was in my helmet, but I wasn't quite sure, because the fluffy from the mic is also, you know, you could mistake that for the bee, but because it hit me in the neck, and I think it just then flew inside the helmet. So I was quite lucky in that respect, but I didn't really want to speak much when it all happened and when I had a suspicion, because the last thing you want is the bee or the wasp flying into your mouth, and you know, it's most likely deadly then.
Well, every cloud has a silver lining, so we stopped in the next garage, and here in Estonia they have proper coffee.
And there was a coffee machine with like different coffee beans, not that I understood very much, but it is an espresso. So we should be good after that, and hopefully shortly we'll arrive to some scenic-ish scenery.
For anyone interested, petrol prices in Estonia are 1.62 a litre, that's euros here.
I just want to show you inside my helmet. So the bee would have fly here, and that's the fluffy microphone. And half of the bee was stuck in the microphone, and it just touched my chin, so I didn't get all of the venom. It's quite lucky. Do you know what's the moral of the story? It doesn't matter whether you have your visor open or closed, the bees still get ya.
Some days you're the statue, sometimes you're the pigeon. I like that one.
Yeah, it doesn't help. I'm absolutely paranoid now.
Just shut your visor, you'll be fine. Everybody gets a go, and today is your turn.
Yeah, this is like a second one on this trip.
I've shut my visor, must mean it's my turn. Bit of a slip road situation going on here. We're making our way down through Estonia now, heading south towards Lithuania. We're following the main road, the number 4 road. They don't have motorways here, it seems. But, I know, gotta watch out here. These single lane roads do attract the kamikaze overtakes, because people get frustrated when they get sit behind the lorries. But having said that, the lorries are doing 90 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit anyway. So we just entered the Pärnu region of Estonia, and this road will lead us all the way to Lithuania. Well, we're not showing you too much of the riding today because, well, it looks a lot like this, quite long, straight and flat. We were looking for alternative routes, but the only other real roads here are really small, through the villages and things, and it just take us forever to cover the ground that we need to do. We were looking for interesting points to show you, but Estonia being such a flat country, there isn't really twisty roads and amazing routes to see unless you go off-roading in the woods. As I say, that would take too long. The highest point you can go to in Estonia is a whopping 318 meters high. So that gives you an idea of yeah, what scenery there is really. There's lots of woods, lots of walking to be done, but not much else. So that's kind of why we're transiting through Estonia. But we do have a bigger plan in mind, but we'll tell you more about that when we stop in a moment. We are just approaching or going over the Latvia-Estonia border.
Are you joking?
Yeah, this is it.
We ran out of Estonia to ride.
Estonia took us about 4 hours, I think, to ride through.
I don't know, it felt like less than that, to be fair.
There we are. There's your sign. Welcome to Latvia, a new country for us. We are very slowly but surely ticking off all of the countries in Europe. By the end of the year, we will have visited them all, I reckon.
No, I'm not going to Belarus.
Oh yeah, smart ones at least.
Definitely not going to Belarus, that's for sure. Oh right, so looking at the map, I thought that we're gonna be riding a coastal route in Estonia, but I guess we were separated by the trees, so we actually didn't see any sea.
Well, I heard chairs are big in this country.
Not sure how many miles we covered, but I need to stretch my legs. There is a petrol station coming up. Oh, Circle K as well. That should be interesting. And it's probably that time of the day where we need to refuel. We started with a full tank this morning, and we need to get another one. And they do this hot dogs Rich really likes. There we go. Let's see what he's got. That is a hot dog.
Look at that, they have trumped Poland's hot dog with the sauce
Double
inside.
hot dog.
They've gone for the double. It seems like a natural step in progression, doesn't it? And there's probably 8 different types of sausages you can choose from.
Wow, that's too much.
I couldn't resist though, you got to, didn't you?
How was your customer service experience?
Well, we joke before, when you go to Poland, you get the Polish smile, which looks like this. Yeah, it seems like that is universal throughout Eastern Europe, and that is definitely the case here.
Well, Poland, technically speaking, it's not really Eastern, but in a way, yeah. But
I can't read any of the stuff in there, the menu and that, so you can see from the pictures, but obviously you don't know what type's what. And there was various different sausages. He said, which sausage do you want? So I don't know, you choose, because I couldn't read it. She looked furious at me for not making a decision, so I'm sorry.
Well, it is funny, the Slavic kind of smile, and it is kind of funny, and I still get it, and I will never lose it, but I definitely smile a lot more after living in England.
And what did you get?
Don't know, cheeseburger? It's very simple, I guess.
Okay. There's a couple bikes here. These guys have come all the way from Italy. Fair play. And on an old Transalp as well. Well, I mentioned earlier on that we have a cunning plan, and all plans start usually with a problem. So let's go over the problem first. So the problem is I have a UK passport, and since the UK went through the whole Brexit thing, it means that I cannot be in the Schengen zone for any more than 90 days in every 180, which means that you either have to return to the UK once your 90 days of travel are up for 6 months, or you have to be out of the Schengen zone.
Well, it don't matter where you're gonna go, as long as you're not in the EU Schengen zone.
So I'm not welcome after 90 days in any 180-day period.
Yeah.
It is incredibly complicated, and it feels like it's set up for people to fail purposely, but
Yes.
we got an app and we're on it. So that means that I have to get out of the Schengen zone because my days are now nearly up, which brings us to the plan.
Yeah, so the plan is we're going to go to Poland, as we're passing through anyway, and then we're going to stay with my sister or my parents, whichever, and we will get everything we need for the bikes, everything that we need, like, you know,
They need
tires
new
and things like that. and
Brake
then
pads, we have the different chain oiler thing that we're going to fit as well, because that's been a big problem. Look at maintaining the bikes, we've found, whilst carrying minimal kit, has been an issue. So we found some solutions to that. So yeah,
we don't know how long the problem solving in Poland will take us. It could be 1 week, it could be 2.5 weeks. So we need to accommodate enough time for that. And once we're done, we're gonna head towards the European countries that are not in the Schengen zone, and that makes all the Balkan countries, so most of them. And we were gonna spend some time over there, riding in Albania, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo.
so very much like those stalks that we saw earlier, our plan is to go really south for the winter. So we're going to travel for as long as we can, living off our Teneres, abiding by the whole Brexit rules, in and out of the Schengen zone, that sort of stuff. So
yeah, and you never want to just use up all of the days. You always want to have at least few in case you needed to cross borders or whatever happens and you had to, maybe ride through. I'm not sure, but we just want to be safe.
So that is the reason that we're transiting through these couple of countries, because we must get to Poland. I've only got about 20 days left, something like that. So we must get to Poland, we must ready the bikes for the next big leg of our tour, and then we have to get out of the Schengen zone.
For now, we put a campsite in our sat-nav that is 1 hour 30 minutes, 91 kilometers away. We might feel like we want to ride more, so that's not for sure what's going to happen, but maybe. This camera keeps packing in. Alright, let's join the madness again here.
Five to 7 now, and we did have a campsite in the sat-nav, but it's such a nice day, it's a beautiful evening. We thought, you know what, we're just going to ride on a little bit further. There's a few along this route, so maybe we'll stop at the next one, see how we get on. It's actually been a really nice ride today, and we're covering some good ground. I think when you've had a few days off the bike, you fancy doing a few miles, and I think that's what's happening today. Well, that is the sign for Lithuania, I believe.
That's pretty cool.
Third country today.
We had a late start, late-ish, and good day riding so far. Not very much to show, but it's quite interesting crossing countries, I think.
It's amazing what you can see from the seat of your motorcycle, and some days there's nothing I enjoy more than just sitting here and watching the world go by, and yeah, well, just watching how your environment changes as you go through. It's nice to be part of it,
Well, I hope that the campsite to which we're going is actually open and it's got a space for us. And we might be going hungry to bed if we don't find anything between here and the campsite. Here we are at the campsite, very small one, very family run in Lithuania. And they don't sell any food, nothing, not a drink, absolutely nothing. She says it's seasonal and they only run the campsite about 5 months a year, so it just doesn't make sense for her to sell anything. And the village shop closed about 20 minutes before we got here, so it's nearly 9 p.m. now. I'm just sat here, and Rich went to a petrol station that is nearby to see if he can grab something to eat. We absolutely failed to do any food shopping today. I'm fine really with not eating anything, and I've got a tin of tomato mackerel from Norway still, and some dry kind of bread, so I'll be fine, and a bar of chocolate, so it'll be okay. Well, let's see what Rich is gonna get in the shop, and he didn't leave me the tent, so I can't put that up. Not that I would by myself anyway. It could be quite difficult actually. That's the campsite. Shower and toilet block over there. Looks nice, good enough for the night.
I returned from the petrol station. It's a petrol station tea, what can you do? But in fairness, it could be a lot worse. Some sort of kebab meat in bread warmed up, a Carlsberg alcohol-free beer, and some chocolate for pudding. It's not the healthiest dinner, but beggars can't be choosers, eh?
Mosquitoes are out there and there is loads of them. So we are in the tent. We've got some alcohol-free Carlsberg to drink. The only problem is we don't have anything to open it with, and what we have is on the bike.
Yeah, one of us has got to go and get the Leatherman out of the tank bag. That's what's happening there.
Well, we've done a solid 5 hours riding today, not counting the time when we missed a turn and we did an extra 40 kilometres.
Yeah, why is it whenever you miss a turn, it's always straight onto another main road and you've got to go on for miles? Always the same.
Yeah, so 400 kilometres we did today, which is pretty good. And so to get to where we're going before Balkans, we have about 2 days riding, at least 11-12 hours riding, and just over 1,000 kilometers. So we're not gonna knock that out in one day. There is no chance. So I think there'll be 2 more days riding. But I'm excited to show you a little bit about Poland. And
Poland's great. We've toured there before, and you might have seen some of our older videos there. There's a lot to see in Poland.
There is, especially if you're into Second World War. And I think one of our favourite places we've been to, Wolfslayer, and absolutely recommend it to anybody, and you can camp there as well.
Well, you can find that episode on the channel if you get bored before this one and the next one. But yeah, our tyres are like proper square right now. It is unbelievable, but we're hoping they're going to last until Poland.
It's still safe enough to ride, but I absolutely hate square tyres. It just doesn't feel right, no. So I'm gonna absolutely love going on a new tyres, because there'll be a massive difference between now and new ones.
We've got a few changes to make for the bikes when we have a break, so we'll do that in Poland. We'll set off with new tyres and a few other new things, hopefully. So in the meantime, thank you very much to Richard, who has been on Buy Me a Coffee and supported us towards a night's camping. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be feet up at 7 a.m. and ready to go.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.